Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Jaya Gopi Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jayo Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Gaur Premanande Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Parirajakara Stotra Shata Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanavinde Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramamsa Parirajakara Stotra Shata Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Antakoti Vaishnava Vranta Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Jai Gaur Premanande All glories assembled devotees All glories assembled devotees All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nasaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Nashtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, General History, Chapter 2, Maharaj Nimi meets 9 Yogendras. Text 41, 11.2.41. Okay. Kaham vayu agnim shalilam mahim cha jyotismayi sattvani disho drunmadhin stari samudramscha harir shariram yatkim cha bhutam prapade anyaya kaham vayu agnir shalilam mahim cha jyotismayi sattvani disho drunmadhin Sthiri samudramscha harir shariram Sthira samudramscha harir shariram Yatkim cha bhutam pravede ananya. Okay. You want to chant? Chant? Kham vayu agnim shalilam haimam cha jyotismayi sattvani disho dharumadin starir samudramscha harir shariram yatkim cha bhutani cha pravade ananyam. Thank you so much. You want to chant? Kham vayum agnim shalilam mahim cha jyotismayi sattvani disho dhrumadin sarir samudramscha sariram yatkim cha bhutam pravade ananyam. Word meaning? Kham, earth, ether, Vayum, air, Agnim, fire, Shalilam, water, Mahim, earth, Cha, and Jyotismaye, the sun, moon, and other celestial luminaries. Sattvani, all living in being. Dishaha, the direction. Dhumadadhin, trees and other immovable creature. Sthirta, the river. Samudran, the ocean. Cha, also. Harir, of the Supreme Lord Hari. Sariram, the body. Yat kimcha, whatever. Bhutam, in created existence. Pranamatyed, one should bow down, bow to. Ananya, thinking nothing to be separate from the Lord. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. A devotee should not see anything as being separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Ether, fire, air, water, earth, the sun and the other luminaries, all living beings and directions trees and other plants, and the rivers and the oceans. Whatever a devotee experiences, he should consider to be an expansion of Krishna. Thus, seeing everything that exists within the creation as a body of Supreme Personality of Lord, Supreme Lord Hari, the devotee should offer this sincere respects to entire expansion of the Lord's body. Sri Jiva Goswami comment purport. Jiva Goswami has given this example from Purushas Yat Pratani Tatvai Anuragayat Jagat Dhana Mayam Lubdha Kumha Kamani Mayam Iti Tvat Harir Shariram. Because of greedy person's obsession with the money, wherever he goes, he sees an opportunity acquiring wealth. Similarly, a very lusty man notices a woman everywhere. In this same way, a pure devotee should see the transcendental form of the Lord within everything. Since everything is an expansion of the Lord, it is our practical experience that a greedy man will see money everywhere. If he goes to the forest, he will immediately consider whether it would be profitable to purchase the forest land and sell the trees to paper mill. Similarly, if a lusty man goes to the same forest, he will look everywhere for a beautiful woman and tourists who might happen to be there. And if a devotee goes to the same forest, he will see Krishna there. Knowing correctly that entire forest as well as sky canopy above is inferior energy of the Lord. Krishna is supremely sacred, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead and sincere, since everything that exists expands directly or indirectly from the body of the Lord. Everything is sacred when seen through the eyes of self-realized person. Therefore, as stated in the verse Pranamate, one should offer one sincere respect to everything. Jiva Goswami has mentioned that we should see the personal form of Krishna everywhere. This verse does not approve the impersonal atheistic philosophy that everything is God. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya quotes Harivamsa. Sarvam Hari Vasistena Shariram Tasya Bhanyate Ananyati Parchatya Tat Ananya Udhararyate Na Chapa Abhyeto Jagatam Vishnur Punarana Gunasyatu. Because everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord Hari, everything is considered to be his body. He is original source and master of everything, and therefore nothing should be seen as different from him. Nonetheless, one should not foolishly conclude that there is absolutely no difference between the material universe and the Lord Vishnu, who is full of his own unique spiritual qualities. The example is often given of the sun and the sun rays. The sunshine is nothing but an expansion of the sun globe, and therefore there is no qualitative difference between the sun and its rays. But although the sunshine is situated everywhere, and although everything is transformation of the sun's energy and the sun globe itself, the source of the sunshine is not everywhere, but it is situated in a particular place in this vast sky, and it has own specific form. If we penetrate further into the sun globe, we shall find the sun god Vaivaswan. Although pseudo intellectuals of the modern age, who incapable of even counting the hairs on their own head, will consider the sun god mythological figure. It is the foolish mythology of a modern man to think that such a sophisticated apparatus of the sun, which provides the heat and light entire universe, can function without intelligence administration. Transformation of the solar energy make a life possible on earth, and thus the earth can understood to consist of an endless varieties of secondary manifestation of all pervading solar energy. So within the sun planet is the personality of Vaivashvan, the chief administrator of the solar function, and the sun globe itself is localized, and the sun rays expands everywhere. Similarly, the Sri Krishna's Shamasundara is the original personality of Godhead. He expands himself as a localized super soul, Paramatma, in everyone's heart, and finally he expands his potency by his personal bodily glow. The all-pervading spiritual effulgence is called Brahmajyoti. The entire material manifestation floats within the rays of his Brahmajyoti, just as all life on the earth is transformation of all-pervading rays of the sun. The entire cosmic manifestation is a transformation of the spiritual rays of Brahmajyoti as stated in Brahma Samhita. यस्या प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदन्तकोटि कोटिरशेषु वसुधा विभूतिभिन्नं तद्ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतां गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is impersonal Brahman, which absolute, complete and unlimited, which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in the millions and millions of universe. Therefore, the Brahmajyoti is the spiritual light that emanates directly from the body of the Lord. This universe is transformation of the spiritual energy, and therefore everything that existence is one sense connected directly with the personal body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It emphasizes here that we should offer respect to everything that exists, recognizing that it to be the energy of the Lord. The example may be given that if a man is important, his property is also important. Property is also important. The president of a country is the most important person in the country, and therefore everyone must respect his property. Similarly, everything that exists is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and should respect accordingly. If we fail to see everything that exists as the energy of the Lord, we risk the danger of drifting into the Mayavada philosophy, which according to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most deadly poison for one who is trying to advance in actual spiritual life. Mayavadi Bhasha Shunile Haile Sarvanash. CC Madhya 6.169. If we try to understand Krishna alone without expansion of his potency, we shall not understand such a statement in Bhagavad Gita, Vasudeva Sarvam and Aham Sarvasya Prabha. As already explained in this chapter, Baham Vidishte Sat, fear, illusion rises from the thinking that there is something not dependent upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, in this verse, the specific process of overcoming this fearful illusion is given. One must train one's mind to see everything that exists in the expansion of the potency of the Supreme Lord. By offering respect to everything and meditating upon the everything as a part of the body of the Lord, one will become free from fear. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Srudam Sarva Bhutana. Krishna is the well-wishing friend of every living being. As soon as one understands that everything is existence under the powerful control of one's most beloved friend, one comes to the stage in which the whole universe becomes blissful and abode, because he sees Krishnas everywhere. If Krishna's personality were not the source of everything, and if everything were not connected to Krishna, one might be proper in concluding that Krishna's personality is a material manifestation of some impersonal truth, as stated in Vedanta Sutra Janmadiyadya Yasaha, the absolute truth that from which everything emanates. Similarly, Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabha, I am the source of everything. If we see everything totally disconnected from the personal body of Krishna, we may doubt whether Krishna's personality is actually absolute source of described in the Vedanta Sutra. As soon as one feels this way, he becomes fearful and should be understood to under the control of Lord's illusion energy. The further purport goes. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has warned us that if we do not see everything as a manifestation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, we shall become victims of Falgu Vairagya or immature renunciation. Whatever we see disconnected from Krishna will have in our mind no relationship to Krishna's service. But if we see everything as connected to Krishna, we shall use everything for Krishna's satisfaction. This is called Yukta Vairagya. According to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one who has experienced his own true identity understands that all things existence as paraphernalia for giving ecstatic pleasure to the Supreme Lord. Thus, one becomes free from the separatist vision in which one sees the world as existence for one's own enjoyment. In the transcendental stage, whatever the devotee sees reminds of him Krishna, and thus his transcendental knowledge and the bliss increases. Because the impersonalist philosopher failed to see everything as belonging to the personal form of Krishna, they reject this world as having no true existence. But since the material world is an emanation from supreme reality, Krishna it does in the fact exist. It doesn't its non-existence is simply creation of imagination, and one cannot possibly act on such imaginary platform. Therefore, having possessed an illusionary theory of being unable to actually to live on such platform, the impersonalists come back to the material platform for a restrict or a gross sense gratificatory activities. Since impersonalist does not accept the personal proprietorship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he does not know how for whom to engage the things of this world, and since it is impossible to reject this world totally while living within, he runs to risk and gain to become entangled in the material fruitive activities. Therefore, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Klesho adhikataras tesham, the impersonalist path of imaginary philosophy is very painful to follow. The conclusion is that this verse is spoken to help the devotees of the Supreme Lord advance in Krishna consciousness. It can be understood from the previous verse of this chapter that ultimate goal is pure devotional service to the Lord Krishna. If one falsely interprets this verse to sanction the imaginary Mayavadi philosopher that everything is God, and one will simply become bewildered and fall from the path of spiritual advancement. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapagantikam Andem Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Saganadalita Shri Vishakamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this verse elaborates one point, that how we can always be connected toward the Supreme Lord. Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavya najatachit. Sarva vidhi nishedatma ekta eva kinkara. One should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Okay. How we can practically do this in the day-to-day life? As it is said, one should see everything that is the energy of the Lord. Bhumirapi nalovayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara mudatvam kartaham iti manyate भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टदा भूमिरपि नलो वायु कम मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकारिति यम्मे भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टदा. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has already said in 7th chapter 4th verse, the earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, all together are 8, consist of my separated material energies. So same thing is repeated here. So all the Shastras, Upanishads, scriptures, they are helping us to remember the Supreme Lord, provided when you attentively read them. When you invest something on particular business or particular thing or particular time, on particular activity, you will get the benefit. So exactly, we see here that devotee should not see anything as being separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Correct? One should not see everything separated. That's why it is very, very hard to a sadhaka to remember the Krishna all the time. Because it is a kind of scripture says always remember Krishna, but our mind never remember Krishna. One time Srila Prabhupada was asked by a disciple, Prabhupada, I'm thinking all the time Krishna, but sometimes it is very, very difficult to remember Krishna. Then Prabhupada says, no, it is other way around. You never remember Krishna, only sometimes you remember Krishna, not all the time. Because one should remember the Krishna means one should have the mercy of the devotees. Only by the mercy of the pure devotees we can remember Krishna all the time. Because he is closer, he is dear to the Lord. That's why in the Mangal Aartis, Guru Astaka we see Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasada. Correct? When only by the pure devotee's mercy we can remember the Lord all the time. Because they have their so much faith and they have so much devotion. So that devotion, faith will come to you when you serve them, when you please them. And they will also the faith in the Supreme Lord, they invest upon you, so that you will also remember the Lord. And they make you remember the Lord all the time. Because there is strong faith and the strong belief and the strong devotion towards the Lord. Otherwise we see just like when you are in the temple, we may remember by seeing this. Sometimes in the temple also we don't remember the Lord. We even after seeing deities, even after doing deity worship, or even after doing so many service. But we know that somewhere on the other, okay, this is for the Lord. But as soon as you step out of the gate, you forget. Correct? It is easy. But here he says, if you see the plants, if you see the trees, sky, and the earth, and the air, that you should remember the Lord. This is an exercise that we have to do. One time Srila Prabhupada was walking on the beach with his disciple. He was walking with his in the morning time. So he was hearing the beach water sound, the waves sound. We also hear. Sometimes we go to Michigan Lake, we also hear. But our hearing is different than his. I'm just trying to say how much they are matured. When Prabhupada was hearing the beach sound, the water wave sound, he was remembering the gopis of Vrindavan. And he was immediately connected, naturally connected that, okay, these waves are nothing but cryings of the gopis for Krishna. See? That's why when we do these kind of exercise, we also become seasoned devotees. And naturally we'll remember the Lord. Just like when we get new things. Recently we got a new grill in the kitchen. New grill, which is big one. It was not seasoned to make chapatis. We have to make seasoned, like putting oil, and because it is steel iron and white, it doesn't not chapatis or whatever we make on dosas, it will not come. But we have to make seasoned. How? By put oil and doing and using every day. So when we make seasoned, then that is comfortable and that is conducive and that is easy to use chapatis every day. Our mind, our body should also become seasoned by doing devotional service. Just like we see in the Ramayana, Bharata, as soon as he saw Lord Ramachandra, immediately fell down. Because Bharata is Bhakti Bharata. Bhakti, with the Bhakti, his head has bowed down to Lord Ramachandra. Now, as soon as we see the deities and the devotees of the Lord, we have to bow down. It is just like if somebody put a head weight. Like if somebody is put on a head something like 10 lbs, naturally he will be bending. No need to ask him to bend. Similarly, we have to do such a devotional service. Naturally, when we see the Krishna or pure devotees or saintly person, we have to bend. That should become seasoned, not by artificial, now I have to bow down. That is not, Krishna will not take that, if you are doing artificially. Naturally, you should become bent. So, by connecting everything with the Krishna, then we can able to understand the Supreme Lord and His energies. They are not separated. So, whatever devotee experience, he should consider in his expansion of Krishna. So, everything that he sees in this creation, body of Supreme Lord, His Hari, should offer sincere respects. And at the same time, he should not think everything is Krishna. Then again, that is the danger of becoming Mayavadi philosopher. Mayavadi bhasha shunile hoile sarvanash. We should think everything is energy of Krishna. At the same time, we should not think everything is Krishna. For example, this table, this iron, and this floor is expansion of Krishna. Because where did this table come from? The tree. Where the tree has come from? Earth. Earth is an energy of Krishna. Tree is also energy of Krishna. And we should respect. That's why we in the temple, not only in the temple, in everywhere, we should not kick with our legs anything. because that is the energy of Krishna. We should see everything in there is Krishna's energy. Then when we do regularly practice that, then we will respect, then we will not forget Krishna even for a moment. Otherwise, we will forget everything. We become only connected while chanting. That is also very hard. Only we chant when we. That is also when our mind goes 360 degrees everywhere. But after chanting finished, after Bhagavatam class finished, we totally become disconnected to Krishna, even though we are temple. But how a businessman and how a person who is a material person, how he sees everything in connect to the money. Here, Srila Jiva Goswami has given very nice example. A lusty person and a businessman and a materialistic person, like how he sees one object, one thing in different ways. Just hear carefully. If a lusty man goes to the forest, he thinks immediately, oh, what a nice place to enjoy with a woman, with tourists, nobody will disturb here. The natural air is coming. How I can make a bed here and lay down and enjoy years together. And if a businessman goes to the forest, he thinks, oh wow, I can buy this land for a cheaper rate from government, and I can cut down these trees and send it to the paper mill. I can make more money. If I get sandalwood trees, even more money. And he thinks like that. And that's the way of. But a devotee goes to the forest. He thinks, just like Vrindavan is also forest. Oh, Krishna must be playing in the same forest. He thinks like that. Or Naimisharanya rishis of sages, they have discussed same thing in the forest. And all the rishis, sages gone to the forest. So many examples. And Lord Buddha goes to the forest. What is it? Swayambhu Manu goes to the forest. Dhruva Maharaj goes to the forest. See, there are so many things that we cannot connect to the Krishna's energy. So like three persons, like a businessman goes to the forest, he thinks how to make money. A lusty man goes to the forest, he thinks how I can enjoy with a woman. When a devotee goes to the forest, he always thinks of, oh, such a nice forest. Who must be the wonderful artist? Nothing than Krishna. Nobody goes to the forest to decorate the forest. It's naturally when you go to the forest, you feel so much, satisfaction, peace, and fresh air. Have anybody goes to the forest here? Have anybody gone to the forest? I went to the forest one time. I'm of course with the devotees. Yeah. When the devotee was speaking Krishna Katha, we were 30 devotees. There was one farm in Belgaum in Karnataka. There was one farm temple, and in the farm temple, they used to go to the forest inside, and they know that the way. And he was sitting on one rock, and he was speaking some Krishna Katha, and there is no mic, and there is no kind of arrangement that he did not carry a small microphone. But whatever he was speaking, it was clear because ether was not disturbed. Because it was so clear. He was sitting far, at least 50-60 meters. He was speaking very slowly. That still we could able to hear. Because the forest ether is calm. Ether is not even a single, ether was disturbed. Ether was so peaceful. We could able to hear. And there was no arrangement. Then we can able to connect that in Naimisharanya, so many sages were sitting. Almost thousands of sages were sitting. One person is speaking, Sukadeva Goswami. How could able to hear? Even the last audience, person who is sitting in the last bench, last person, he could also able to hear. Because our ether was not disturbed. Now the ether is disturbed, that's why we need microphone, this setup and everything. So anyways, coming to the point that energy of the Lord is such a peace and satisfaction and such a blissful that a devotee immediately connects with the Supreme Lord. So he connects entire forest is Krishna's energy, and as well as sky is a canopy above, and inferior energy of Lord Krishna. Supreme Lord Krishna is sacred. And one should offer sincere respects to everything. And at the same time, he should not think, Madhvacharya wants us, it should not be again impersonal. Okay, this is energy of Krishna, I worship this table. This energy of microphone, we every day we speak Bhagavatam, we should worship and we put on the altar. No, we should not do that. So that's why there is a slight difference, there is a subtle difference between the Mayavadi philosophy and our philosophy. They also know everything is energy of the Lord, they have started worship. We also know that the saintly persons are equally worship the Supreme Lord, just like a spiritual master. We should also worship spiritual master as equal as God. And they also worship their spiritual master equal as Narayana. When one sannyasi sees another sannyasi, they will not address as oh saintly person, or they will not address by their name. They address by Narayan. Oh, here is a Narayan, let me offer obeisances. But why we offer obeisances? Because he is a pure representative of the Lord, and in each and every living entity there is a supreme soul. Super soul is residing. That's why we offer obeisances. So this is the biggest point, that because everything is under control Supreme Hari, and everything is considered his body. He is the original source of everything. And we should also offer obeisance. That's why we have to offer obeisances to the, whenever we see the sun, earth, that's why there is a habit, as soon as you get up, you offer obeisances to the spiritual master, or you offer obeisances to the Mother Earth, because you are stepping on that, because it is also energy of the Lord. So again, there is another example we given is this sun rays. Sun rays is sunshine, nothing but expansion of the sun globe. And there is no qualitative difference between the sun and sun rays. But although sunshine is situated everywhere, although everything is a transformation of sun's energy, sun globe itself is a source of sunshine. So when we read this, we can able to understand. So everything is a expansion of the Lord. When you think that everything is expansion of the Lord, then only smartavya satata Vishnu vismatavya najatachit. Then only you can able to connect everything is Krishna. But if you don't see everything is connected to Krishna, even if you are doing, chanting or devotional service, still you will be disconnected to Krishna. Oh, because of you are not being able to connect with Krishna, with the things that you see in the material world. Because we have to be in the material world, we have to use the material things, we have to engage them and for our benefit, for our needs. If you don't engage them, or if you don't use them, then you will not survive. Just like in the 7th chapter again, Bhagavad Gita, it says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhashami sasishuryabu. When you read Bhagavad Gita, basic knowledge, you will understand Krishna consciousness perfectly. But if you don't read Bhagavad Gita, but when you don't read books, then Krishna consciousness philosophy is very, very difficult. That's why theory is important. Then comes practicals. In the school, colleges, first professor will make you understand theory. Then he takes to the lab, practicals. But when you don't understand theory, then what you will do practicals? The practicals is only the thing that which we do, that artificially we do the service, artificially we do everything, but it does not have peace of mind. It is just making you, miserable, more miserable, more miserable. Chanting 16 rounds, miserable. Coming morning program, miserable. Doing this thing, miserable. Prasadam, very nice. Sleeping, very nice. DT worship, very nice. Because we don't connect, that's the thing. People, when we want to run away from the problems, they do 4 things. 1, they go to sleep. 2, they watch movie. 3, they go to the some places, like they go outing. And 4, intoxication. First thing, when they want to escape from the problems, they go to sleep. How long you can sleep? You have to wake up again. And when they watch movie, of course, how long you watch movie? Movie has beginning and the end. And when you go to some places, when you go, you have to come back. And the last thing is intoxication. It has beginning and it also end. But it has also disease. When somebody is taking alcohol, for example. So everything has beginning and end. That's why whatever you do the things, when you don't connect yourself to the Supreme Lord, then with His energies specifically, then you will become disconnected even while doing devotional service. Okay. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also warned us Yukta Vairagya, Phalgu Vairagya. With Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. Phalgu Vairagya means a person who don't know how to use, who sees everything disconnected from Krishna is Phalgu Vairagya. Immature renunciation. Mayavadas. And Yukta Vairagya, where one will see the true and genuine service, genuine thing, how to use everything in the service. But at the same time, one may not be experienced, one may not be expert in using everything in the service of Lord. I may be using some things that you may not be using those things in Krishna consciousness. I may be not expert using some things. You may be expert in using those things in Krishna consciousness. Just like nowadays we see that social media. In social media, so many devotees are preaching Krishna consciousness. But if they are not careful, what will happen? Haribol. They may not be seen in everywhere. But there is a danger. But if some devotees, they are expert in using Krishna consciousness, they are preaching, they are doing so many things, they are attracting so many souls to the Krishna. But you should know what is your limit. When you should understand how we can know what is our limit, what is our capacity. You should understand whether you are getting used by that or you are using that. Just like I am using laptop or laptop using me. Correct? I am using laptop for Krishna Katha or doing studies, or it is using me, subscribing movies on Apple, or Apple TV, or subscribing things, or it is using me. So that if you are thinking, if something is used by you, then that means you are out of Krishna consciousness. So conclusion is this verse is to help the devotees of the Supreme Lord to make an advance in Krishna consciousness. That is only the conclusion of this verse. The ultimate goal is to pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. Okay, one should not falsely interpret this verse as a sanction of imaginary Mayavadi philosophy that everything is God. One will simply become bewildered, fall down from the spiritual path. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare Krishna.
thanks for the class. You were saying that, we shouldn't look at the table as Krishna. I think you said this. I think you said we shouldn't look at the table as Krishna, but we should look at it as Krishna's energy. So Krishna and Krishna's energy is the same, isn't it?
Krishna and Krishna's energy? What is that question? Krishna's energy is same?
And Krishna's energy is the same, right? So why shouldn't we look at that table as Krishna?
Yes.
Well, you say we should look at it as Krishna's energy.
Yeah, why we have to look at everything as Krishna's energy means the only point is that we should always remember Krishna. That's the point here. But while using Krishna's energy, we may get carried away. If you are not careful. Just like a fire we use for cooking. Without fire, there is no cooking. But at the same time, if you are not careful with the fire, you may burn your hand. Correct? The energies of Krishna also will take you away from Krishna. If you are not careful enough using fire to cook properly, without using gloves to, do that, but you may burn your hand. So energy is also, Krishna's energy is also very powerful. That's why we should be very careful how much we can use. That intelligence we have to understand our own self. Nobody will tell you how to use Krishna's energy. Of course, if you are not knowing how to use the fire in Krishna's service, then you have to take lessons, guidance. Okay. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanand.